This is the StudioLogic SL88 MK2. This is the long-awaited successor for the SL88 Studio, which was released way back in 2016. That was 9 years ago. Back then, a dozen of egg was about, $2, maybe under $2. Right now, it's about $6, 3 times the price. Inflation eats everything except this keyboard right here. So the new StudioLogic SL88 MK2 is just about $600 while the Studio version, the Mk1 version, is still selling for $500. So, $100 difference after 9 years with new tech. I assume with new tech, new improvement and things like that. That's pretty, amazing. I give it up to them for that. The even more surprising one is the Grand Touch version, the GT version, which is the graded AMA Action version of the StudioLogic SL88, is selling for $1,000, and the AMA Action for the Grand version that was released again 9 years ago is also still selling for $1,000. So I don't know how they've managed to do it in a way where they keep the price relatively pretty much the same thing. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. It's your boy Moses. I am back in the studio to review this amazing new keyboard that StudioLogic just made. If you don't know, I am a musician, a music producer, and I've been making YouTube videos on YouTube here for a while now. Back in 2022, I believe, I reviewed the StudioLogic SL88 Studio, which is right here beside me here. And back then, that review, it helped a lot of people to conclude whether they're going to be making a purchase or not based on some of the things I was able to share in that video. And in this video as well, to review this product, I am not going to be, shying away from anything. I'm going to be sharing everything I found so far within the past few days that I've had my hand on this keyboard. So let's go all in. Just for you to know, nobody sent this keyboard to me. I am making this review. All of the opinions I'm going to be sharing are totally based on my opinion. I paid my hard-earned money for this keyboard, so everything you're going to be hearing is pure truth, no influence whatsoever. So first thing first, there is already a firmware update for this keyboard, and I would advise you to go update it right away. I'm going to show you quickly how to do that. So let's get into that one. All right, so we're going to come to this link, which I'm going to be putting below. This is the firmware link right here. And you want to just, connect your, keyboard to your computer, the MIDI controller to your computer. And you want to make sure that you connect the SL to the Numa player. The Numa player is their app. So on this website as well, you can pretty much find your way to, register. You have to register yourself on their platform, and you can download the software. All right, I'm gonna put a link to download the software also right under the video here. So we got Numa player on right now. You can see it on my screen. What I want to make sure I do is click on this right here and come to my SL, my StudioLogic. Once you come to my StudioLogic, if you're connected, it will already see it. And originally for your own version, it's gonna say maybe 1.0.0, right, or 1.0.1. I don't know what it's gonna say, and you might just click install, right? For me, it's already saying up to date, so you might want to check that out. There are a couple of release notes that it fixes some things here. I don't know, maybe that might affect you in future, but you don't want to take that risk. So just go ahead and update the firmware. And that's the very first thing on the agenda. So let's start talking about the features of this new MIDI controller and what are the things that they've incorporated in this one compared to the original one from way back, right? So now we have the keyboard, which is the most important thing that everybody is pretty much looking forward to hearing. The keyboard is now the new TP110, which is an upgrade from the TP100LR that was in the Studio version, or I'm just going to say Mk1 version, moving on for easier understanding. The keyboard here is pretty much amazing. I will tell you for real, it is amazing, right? So I'm going to take away my I'm just going to put on my headphones so that I can hear myself and you guys can hear me as well. gonna get in depth on that, all right? But I'm really excited about this keyboard, right? This keyboard is really, really nice. It feels so good, feels very close to the workstations on your major keyboards, right? That's one thing that I'm excited about this particular Mark II version. Let's talk about the joystick. We have 2 joysticks now compared to 3 that came on. There are 3 joysticks that came with the Mark I version right here, but now we are only left with just 2 now. Originally, I was thinking when I saw this design, I was already thinking that I'm gonna have issues with this with this joystick, because I was thinking of bumping my hands from one to the other, but so far there hasn't really been an issue. We just have the standard pitch bend, right, and the modulation wheel. There is no third joystick. The second thing I want to talk about is the audio interface that comes with this. All right, so as you can see here, it says phones left and right, right? That means there is an audio interface that comes with this particular keyboard, and what that means is you can use this keyboard as an output inside of your DAW. The audio interface doesn't come with any input, it's just output only. So what that means is that you can put in your headphones right here, and you can also connect to your studio monitors or PA systems right here in stereo as well, right? The only thing I do not like, and I'm going to be sharing, as I'm sharing every feature, I'm going to be talking about the things I like and the things I don't like, so that I don't forget anything. The things I don't like about this is there's no input. If I'm going to be having an audio interface, if this thing is going to replace an audio interface for me, let's say I'm a singer-songwriter, I'm going for a quick gig, I just want to use my laptop and connect to a PA system or something, I would not want to have my microphone connected to an audio interface. It's pretty much pointless for me to bring in another audio interface with me and try to like have all of that set up. So I would have wished there is at least one XLR input, or even if it is just a 1/4 inch input, for me to kind of just bring in one more input for me to use as an audio interface. And the second thing I don't like about this audio interface setup is, in as much as a really great idea, this right here controls the master volume of both the phones and the left and right. So for example, if I want my headphones to have a separate volume versus the output left and right to have a separate volume, I don't know how to do that. There's no way for me to do that. This just control both of them, and I don't understand why. I wish there would have been a way to separate it. Maybe when you click on this, it only mutes. I wish there would have been a way where, let's say maybe when you long press it, you control the headphone. When you long press and when you release it, it controls the left and right major the stereo output. That's just one thing, and I think they could maybe do something like that using the firmware upgrade. StudioLogic, if you're watching, please, you can upgrade this. We have pedals right here. We have pedal 1, pedal 2, pedal 3. Back on the SL88 Studio, the Mark I version, we had 4 pedal ports, but now everything has been kind of reduced to just about 3 pedal ports, and that's okay. We have right now we just have this damper sustain pedal, which works really great, basic damper. The second one is supposed to be an expression pedal. Now I don't know what StudioLogic is doing. I can never get their expression pedal port to work. Right here I have 2 expression pedals with me. I have the Roland EV5 expression pedal, which is mine. I had to borrow this one, the Yamaha expression pedal. These don't work. They do not work on the Mark II. They do not work on the Mark I. I don't understand. Behind me here, I have, if you can see, Akai MK261. I have it right there with me. That keyboard was released over a decade ago. This expression pedal works on it without needing any setup. So I don't understand why expression doesn't work on this controller. If it works for you, please let me know, and I would love to know what it is that you're doing differently. But I'd like to say I'm not that dumb. I can figure out how to set up an expression, but in 2025, I shouldn't need to be setting up expression. Okay, it's pointless. The other pedal here is just a special pedal if you play grand piano and you want to have you know, the sostenuto, you want to have the damper itself, and you want to have that soft, you know, pedal. That 3-layer pedal, you can plug it in here and you can set it up. We have MIDI in and MIDI out. If you're using external instruments, some kind of like synths and rack and external keyboards, you can send it out here. We have the power button, which is nice. We have the USB-C now. We've gone away from the USB-A printer cable thing. Now we're in USB-C. This USB-C is transporting your audio interface setup for the output thing. It's also the one sending you MIDI 2.0, also the one that you're using for your DAW control, which comes with this. We're going to get into that. The keyboard also comes with a power adapter right here. This is the power adapter that comes with it, if you can see right here. And there are different country pins that kind of comes with it. You can just put in your own country pin in there, but I think it's kind of pointless if you're going to use this with a computer, so this is useless. But if you're going to use this with an external instrument, you need to power it on, and you don't have any computer or iPad to power it on with, you can power it on with that power plug. Now let's talk about all these buttons and whatnot. Like I already mentioned, this button A right here is controlling your audio master, right, which is for the headphones and for the left and right output. This B right here is controlling all the MIDI volume for the zones. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 zones. We have 4 zones that we can have at a time, and on the 4 zones you can control the master volume for all of the zones at once using this B encoder, right? I don't think it does anything when you press and hold it. It doesn't really do anything, I believe so. And we have other zone button here. These zone buttons are encoder as well. So for example, when you press and hold, you can turn them on and off by just pressing them, right? I've turned on all the 4 zones right now. You can see on my screen as well, I have zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, and zone 4, and it's color coded as well. If I press and long hold this, I can solo just zone 1. If I press and solo this, I can solo just zone 2, right? And if I tap it, I can turn it off and turn it on, right? Under each of the zone, if I press the buttons here can go into the zone, and you can have more controls in the zone. So for example, now if I get out of the zone and I turn on all these zones right now, I can get into, I long press this zone 1 button, and it will give me all these buttons to control different MIDI CCs, right? I can have MIDI CC 70, 71, 73, 72. You can set it up whichever way you like. I can control MIDI CC for zone 1 separately. I can control MIDI CC for zone 2. I'm in zone 2 now. If I go to zone 3, I can control MIDI CC for all the zone 3 separately, right? And if I get out, I can control the MIDI level for zone 1 and zone 1, 2, 3, 4 separately, which is really, really nice. You can use this in a very creative ways, which I'm gonna kind of dive into very later in this video. On this button right here, is the Numa player button. So if I go and open up the Numa player, so now I have Numa player put up on my screen right now, and once I click on this button, it recognizes that Numa player is on. I can use this this main knob to move up and down from all of the zone, or I think if I select the zones here as well, they can, you know, kind of move from one zone to the other, and you can see the very first patch that comes up, right? Right, so we got that, and it's kind of really easy to work with, nothing much. The zones are already mapped to different things. If I am on the zone level for zone 1, which is the grand piano, I can use all these buttons to control different things. I can also move forward to other things that I can control. As you can see, as I'm using this, it's kind of changing to different parameters. If I go to zone 2, I can see different parameters that I can also control in here, right? If I enter zone 3, there are different parameters for this synth part that I can control as well. If I go to zone 4, So it's already very well mapped out with the very well integrated with the Numa player, which I don't expect anything less. This is the software. But now all of these things you're seeing only exist when you are using the app. If you take the app and you use the Numa player as a VST inside of your dock, all of this will not work. Okay, this only works if you're using the Numa player as a standalone software. When I tried it with, using it as a VST, it does not work, and I just wanted to put that out there. Now, if you want to support the channel, I am going to be putting an affiliate link to make a purchase or pre-order this keyboard. Right in the description, I'm going to be putting an affiliate link. I have a Sweetwater affiliate link for you to kind of, check out if you're willing to make a purchase for this keyboard. That will go a long way in supporting the channel, and it's at no extra cost to you at all. And also, I have other products like my loop pack. If you're a church musician, I have some gospel loops that you can use for your praise and worship session and things like that. You have some sound patches for Logic Pro. Some sound patches for Yamaha Montage, not Stage 4, and also for the Roland Phantom if you are into, synthesis and aux keys playing, all of that stuff. And if you're a mixing engineer or a music producer, you want to get killer mixes with very little time in your hands, and you don't want to have all the plugins in the world, you just want to focus on one particular company to get all your plugins from. I have my mixing templates using only waves and stock plugins for Logic, Pro Tools, and Studio One. If you want to go grab that, I'm going to be putting links to those things in my under the description, so go check that out. So now back on the screen, the next thing here is the global settings buttons, and it has a lot of things for you to set up. They've done it in a way that everything you need, you can keep scrolling up and down using this main knob here. You can pretty much just keep scrolling up and down to change as many things as you like. There are a lot of things in here if you're wondering, like transpose, velocity curve, which goes from normal, add, soft, fixed. You can change all of that, and you can change sensitivity as well. Aftertouch, you can turn it off and turn it on. You can also, change the sensitivity of the aftertouch as well up to, a certain level, right? We have pedals that you can also change what they are doing. You can change pedal 1 to a different CC parameter that you want. Right now it's on CC MIDI control change CC64 damper. You can change it to anything else, but I don't really know if it's working. I've even tried to change this to expression and it still did not work. Okay, just for you to know, it works for damper, it doesn't work for expression. Pedal 2 is supposed to be like this, switch B, CC11 expression. Again, I don't know why it doesn't work. The pedal 3, which is the special one that I've already talked about. Again, there are other things in here that you can change, and this will be like your global setting for all your zones, for your zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, unless you go into each zone and you change them. The program on the screen here that you see, right, you can have, up to 100 programs, right? And you can save 100 programs on the program levels as well. You can also have favorites that you can save. You can save, many up to 8 favorites, I believe, right? And inside of 8 favorites, you can save up to 24 programs, right? Right here is the door button. I was very excited for this door button when it was announced, because this is the MIDI controller that I use on my day-to-day under my desk. I just roll this MIDI controller back and forth under my desk. The problem is when I'm working and I'm, doing 1 or 2 things, I don't want to be stretching my hand, as you can see, to touch my keyboard only just because I want to press play or I want to press, record. This is supposed to be able to work perfectly. So for example, if I turn on my screen again, and we are in Logic right now, okay, now there we go. All these buttons will start working in door mode. When I'm in door mode, these buttons will work for door mode. When I'm out of door mode, this button will work for the zones. When I'm in door mode, this button will play, right? They will stop, they can record, right? And they can do all of that, which is good, which I like, until, again, now I can stop it, until I realize something. You can hear that as I'm pressing cycle, it's what is it doing? It's playing a note. As I'm pressing stop, it's playing a note, right? What's this? Right, this is what? A6, right? D5, B. What is that? What is this? My God. My MPK, Akai MPK264, that is 10 years old, 10 years plus old, does not give me this issue when I press play, when I use the transport button. I don't understand why this thing that is so basic is doing this. And also, just for you to know, this is not straightforward, right? You have to go into StudioLogic website to be able to kind of like do to install something for you to use this door control. So I am on the manual right now. I want to say there's an installation component for Ableton, for Cubase, for Logic. So you want to download this. Maybe I should show you guys quickly. So you want to download this and you want to create this folder. All right, you want to go into this, you want to make sure you copy that folder and you put it in this location. So for example, you want to make sure that folder is living somewhere in music, and you want to go to audio music apps, right? Then you want to go to MIDI script. I think I had to create this. So if it doesn't exist, you create it, and you want to drag that folder that you're going to download, this download right here. You want to download it and you want to put it inside here, right? Extract it and drop it here. And when you are done with that, we go back into Logic and you want to go into control surfaces. You want to go into settings. You want to go to setup, and it's already here, SL Mark II, right? But what you want to do to set it up is for you to, you want to install and you want to look for it. So by the time you are dropping that folder inside of the right location, make sure your Logic is closed, or maybe restart your Logic if you had it open. And when you restart it, you'll be able to find Logic right here, StudioLogic SL Mark II, and you want to just say add. If we come back, you can already see it here. So I'm just going to delete all these extra ones that I have here that I'm not using, right? So you want to add it, and when you add it, you want to set your output and input to SL DAW. That's what I just did, and it worked okay, except for the fact that it's playing a note. If you're able to figure it out, please, I'll be glad to know what you did. The same thing was happening in Ableton until I was able to kind of figure out Ableton differently. There's also a download script for Ableton as well. If we go back here, you see the download script for Ableton. You might have to download the one for Mac or the one for Windows, depending on what you're using. And you want to make sure you create a folder. So there's a different folder that you're going to have to drop that in for Ableton. So if I go here, if I'm macOS library, okay, so you want to go into your username and make sure that nothing is hidden. You have to use the command plus shift plus stop, right? Command plus shift plus full stop to unhide anything. If I press that right now, you see a lot of things will be hidden. If I press it, a lot of them will unhide. And you want to see library here under your own username. You want to see library, right? So we have username, library, preferences. So we can find preferences right here. And under preferences, we have Ableton, and I have two Abletons, Ableton 12 and Ableton 10. And you want to go into user remote script, and you want to drop the folder for Ableton. You want to drop it here. So we have it right now on Ableton, and I am on transport mode as you can see on my screen for the MIDI controller. I am in transport mode. So what I had to do, if we go back to the preferences again, I had to, instead of using SL as the control surface here, I had to use Mackie control. So we went in here, we select Mackie control, and we're using input SL DAW, output SL DAW. And I went in here to turn on all of these. I turn this on, Mackie control as well, and that was how I was able to get it to work here. As you can see, it's turning on the cycle range right here without playing any note. Okay, the stop button, the play is working properly. If we want to record something, right, so we got all of that. We can stop it with this, right? We can cycle range. If I just open this up a little bit more, you can see what we quickly recorded, and I can play right, I can play that right now. So that works quite okay without playing the weird notes on, you know, the A's and the D's and the B's. And I tried this same method, this Mackie method, inside of Logic. It did not work. So it's very inconsistent what's going on. I think the script for Ableton is maybe better than the script for Logic. I don't know why, but that is the challenge I have been facing so far. And as excited I was for this this DAW control, it's not really very fun. Now, one last thing I want to mention. This issue in Logic, as you can see, only happens when you do two things. So for example, if your MIDI controller, if your track 1 is bringing in MIDI input, if your MIDI input is on all, the MIDI channel, I want to say, is on all, it's going to give this issue. If it's on input number 1, it's going to give you that issue. But guess what? If you put it on input number 2, okay, and I turn on, and if I go ahead and turn on zone 2, because I've changed zone 2 to USB channel 2 on my end, right? If I turn on zone 2, and let's say I turn off zone 1, guess what? And if I go to DAW mode, I will not have any sound again. All right, so no sound. I can cycle range, no sound. I can play, no sound. I can stop, no sound. I can record, no sound. Can stop again, no sound. Right, and I want to make sure I am on MIDI channel 2, right? Let's see. I am on MIDI channel 2. What's going on here? I have, if I change this, okay, I'm not getting anything, not sure what's going on. Oh, okay. I'm not sure why I'm not getting anything. Normally I should be getting something right now. So if I go back here, again, I don't hear anything. If I go back and change this to MIDI channel 1, I hear something on MIDI channel 1. I don't hear anything coming through MIDI channel 2. This is very strange. The last time I checked this, it was working, you know, perfectly well. But right now, I have no idea why it is not working, which is just such a bummer. If we go here, I am on MIDI channel 2, right? If I turn off all these other MIDI channels, and let's say I am on MIDI channel 2, right? And if we change all of that, MIDI input SL control, nothing is working. SL DAW, nothing is working. Now this worked quite okay the last time I tried. If I put it on all, even, it's supposed to work, right? It's supposed to work if I am on, you know, channel 2. So let's go to another program. If I go into, I saved another program somewhere. Yeah, this is another program now working. Let's see, I think I saved another program here. Again, this is not working as well. Now guess what? What if I turn it off and I turn it on? Okay, let's see what happens if I turn it off and I turn it on. And yep, again, no signal coming through. Very weird. We are already in hall right now, right? Let's say MIDI control. So we got this. Channel 2 is not working. I have no idea why this is happening. there are things we could have done creatively with all of these functionalities, but something is kind of just up. I don't know, maybe because I turned on another DAW at one point or the other. I don't know, but this is what I'm seeing so far. I could restart my Logic. So now I have restarted my Logic just to even see what is really going on here. If restarting it is going to help, restarting either the keyboard is going to help. It didn't help, right? I'm back here right now. If I go back into DAW mode, right, again, it's playing that sound, very, very annoying. We go back into try to use channel 2 when I am on all MIDI channel input, right? It does not work. Right? It does not work. So these are the little challenges that I have. And by the way, you can change the setting. If you go into the zone 1, for example, you can go to settings right here, and you can change the zone using, you know, channel 1 all the way to 16, right? So if I change this to channel 2, even for example, and I go back out of here, right, and if I set this to MIDI channel, it's just a MIDI channel 2, right? No, it does not work. Only one MIDI channel is working. Is that what we're saying, StudioLogic? I don't understand. For the last part of this video, which is the most important part, is the keyboard. How does the keyboard feels? In my opinion, I think the keyboard feels really, really great. I think that's the most impressive thing from this MIDI controller right here. I'm gonna take over the screen. That is the most impressive thing. It's very nice, right? This is 5 a.m. in the morning and my hands are really cold, and I'm still kind of enjoying the way it feels. But how does it feel if we compare it to this? You know, I'm intentionally using this microphone, by the way, so that we can hear all the noise that this thing is going to be making. I could have used a dynamic microphone that would pick less noise, but I want to intentionally let you guys hear the kind of noise that we are hearing from this. And the noise on this one is very, very minimal to the noise on the Mark 1 version. And I'm going to show you guys right now. So what if we go to SL88 Studio Mark 1? So we see what is happening here is that there is a sound every time you release the keyboard, you release the note. There's another sound, a release sound that is doing it as it's releasing, is giving a sound. Again, let's listen again. And if you're playing multiple notes, after a while, all of these sounds we add up. So if I run a simple C major arpeggio, that's on this. If we run a simple C major arpeggio on the Mark II, the noise level has reduced drastically, and also the Mark III is a little, the Mark I want to say, it's very stiff. It has this plasticky feel, even though I loved it and I used it the best I could when when it was the only one I had. But this one is better. Let's just be real. This one is way better, and this one is also the one that is inside of the Arturia Keylab 88 Mark III. Also, I'm going to be comparing this keyboard to the keyboard of, keyboards like North Stage 4, Roland Phantom 8, the Montage, the old Montage, and MODX, Yamaha MODX. So if you are interested in something like that, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on that video. If you're a church musician or a gigging musician and you want to compare, you want to see how this stacks up against those workstations. I'm going to be comparing that, so you don't want to miss that. Someone made a video comparing the amount of weight that it takes to press a key on this new one and the old one. It takes lesser weight for this one versus the Mark 1 version. This one is lighter, solid, if it's very close to the workstations that you're familiar with, and it's just overall nicer. But that's the only thing that I feel like I enjoy on this keyboard. I pre-ordered the Grand Touch version, which I am looking forward to the keyboard of, but I don't know if I really want to keep it if other functions are not really giving me what I'm really looking forward to. This is my review so far, and I want you guys to see what is really going on under the hood with this before you go ahead and splash your hard-earned money to purchase one of these. One of the issues that I found was when I was working with the zones, you know, after a while, the zone just froze on me and everything just froze. Even the keyboard was not transporting anything. I had to just shut down the MIDI controller and restart the MIDI controller, which was not fun. If I was gigging and I have all my parameters mapped, and I was switching from one CC to the other, and I was mapping everything, which I actually mapped everything. I mapped everything, and as I was switching and changing things and all this CC, I mapped them to my VSTs to control different things, filters, EQ, reverb, and things like that, to have a good experience when you are performing and you want to use all these zones to have different things which you can be creative about. Eventually it froze on me. I had to turn it off, right, and turn it on. The boot time is not, the boot time is quite fast, decently fast. Kind of disappointed in some of these things. Aside of the keyboard that I enjoy, I don't think I enjoy anything else, and that is saying a lot. I'm not the kind of person that bashes on other people's product, but if it's good, we're gonna say it. If it can be improved, we're going to say it. I think all of these things that I've mentioned so far can be improved on a firmware update. So if StudioLogic gets to watch this, please, let's fix all these things. Another thing is this jog wheel right here can be used to, I don't know, you can put this in as part of the door control as well, where I can use this to go up and down. You know, if I am in my door mode, for example, I can use this to go up and down, my tracks, kind of move up and down my tracks. I think it's possible, and I think that would be a nice addition. This is, again, my first review. This is my first initial reaction. After having this for about 3-4 days, I'm going to go ahead and do a long-time review of what I think about all of this keyboard after a while, and if I found a workaround on anything, if there's a firmware upgrade, I'm gonna let you guys know. Make sure you subscribe for more videos like this. Like, please, if you have not. Leave a comment below what you think about this this MIDI controller here, and what you think can also be improved on. And I also plan to give this keyboard right here at some point. So if you are not a subscriber, make sure you subscribe so that when I announce the giveaway, you're going to be able to see it. So I just wanted to put that out there. Watch out for it. It's going to come. Yeah, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this will help you know everything about this keyboard. That's pretty much all I have to share, at least for now. So sit down with it. Sit down with the manual. I'm going to try and put the links to everything in the description. Like I said again, if you want to purchase one, use the affiliate link below. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Hey, I hope you enjoyed that video that you just watched, but before you go, please, if you've not already subscribed to the channel, please do so right now. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss any video from the channel. Like this video and also drop a comment. Tell us your thoughts about this video. And one more thing just before you go, we have other videos we think you're gonna love right here, so just click this link right here right now.